My name's Larbey. I'm the Senior Executive Leader for Financial Literacy at ASIC in Australia, and I live in Sydney. I think in Australia we're lucky enough to have a compulsory superannuation system whereby pretty much every Australian worker is required to be a member of a superannuation fund that their employer contributes to. So that's great. And we've had that in place for over 20 years now, which means that people's superannuation balances are growing. But within that system, there's of course challenges that we need to think about. And one of those is outcomes for people who do not have continuous periods of workforce participation. And in particular, this affects women who are more likely than men to take time out of the workforce to look after children or aging parents. So these periods of time out of the workforce means there's no contribution being made for women, or it could be men, could be anyone, but it does tend to be mainly women who are not working for those periods, which means that at the end of, when they turn 60, 65, they have lower superannuation balances. So on average, men are retiring with double the amount of superannuation than women. So I think that's a real challenge in our system. Another challenge that we have is I think we've spent a lot of time and effort on what we call the accumulation phase of superannuation, which is the period of time when people are paying into a fund, accumulating their money, and we haven't spent so much time thinking about the decumulation phase. So what are the appropriate products that people can draw down the money that they've saved that can provide them with a retirement income? We know that a lot of people are concerned about this term longevity risk. Will my money last as long as I live? And so what are the product settings that we need to sort of deal with that for people so they don't need to worry about it? Another challenge that we have, I think, is a large part of our superannuation system is people who have chosen to manage their own retirement funds. We call these self-managed super funds, and they can be very good for people. That allows you control over how your money is invested. The average balance in a self-managed super fund these days is about $1 million. This is great. The only thing I would say though is with that, if you're going to make that choice, with that you need to understand a whole set of obligations and responsibilities come with that, and think about whether that's something that you feel equipped or willing to take on. So understanding the legal, the tax and the compliance obligations, you're responsible for the management of that money. So do you know enough about investment or investment strategies? Where are you going to get advice from? And think about perhaps we've got an issue like super funds offer generous insurance benefits, some of them anyway. So if you're doing it yourself, where are you going to get the insurance from? Because that's certainly something you'll have to think about. So there's certainly a whole range of challenges and issues that we need to think about.